Imagine you're driving and you're stuck in the wrong lane on the highway. And you're looking for exit and you believe that the exit will appear at some point throughout the ride. But you already know that you are going the wrong direction. And this is exactly what misalignment feels like. You know, you are going into some kind of direction. You are chasing a goal. You are having something to wake up to work on. But is it the right thing for you? And here is one of the most important things to know about alignment. You don't stumble into alignment like some lucky current that sweeps you up. You actually choose your way into alignment. And it has to be one clear, honest decision at a time, applied with a lot of patience, faith, and this little delusion that you can do anything. But it's definitely possible. It's just up to you. And today we're taking this step closer to alignment, closer to your true self that feels so peaceful, and it's very hard to put in words actually. You really need to feel it and to live through it. And if you want to taste how it feels like, if you really decide to take all your power and really go for it, to have an amazing future full of peace and full of this joy that you know that you deserve, keep watching, because this is exactly for you. Welcome to the fifth and final lesson of Identity Reset. Today we're talking about the alignment, about the way that you wake up and you know that you are about to do something meaningful in your life. And this week I prepared for you the exact same tool I wish I had. When I was struggling, when I was people pleasing, when I was overthinking every little sentence I told to my boss, I told to my family, I was shaking when I was doing presentations, and it was pretty tough time at that moment. And I was exactly driving in the wrong direction. And now I'm giving you the tool so that you don't have to waste your time driving the car in the wrong direction. And you know that it is in your power to just stop the car and move yourself aside. So definitely check out the description box of this video, grab your copy, and be sure this is not Heini write 3 positive things per day type of journal. I mean, this is also effective for some people, but understand this as a direct clarity switch. It's a literally 2-minute process where you will understand where you're abandoning yourself, and you will also figure out what to do about it. And a little tip, if you follow along with your journal opened, this will not be a video where you just nod and then you forget about it. This will be a video where you actually change the lanes. So let's get into it. And if you see me for the first time on YouTube, hi, I welcome you so much into this beautiful community of awesome people that know that there is more for them, and that know that with effort and with patience and belief, they can achieve anything. They can have beautiful aligned lives, they can live peacefully, and they can do things daily that has the greatest meaning for them. And this is exactly what we're working on in here in our community, as well on this YouTube channel, on my blog, basically anywhere I am. Enough for me, this is about you, so let's get into the video. So one thing to know about alignment: don't imagine it like oasis of calmness and of constant high energy, high vibe. It is rather the feeling and the moment where your values and the way you speak with others and show up in the world comes finally together into harmony, and your values and your choices are back on the speaking terms. Therefore, when you feel yes, you mean it. You don't say like, yes, because. It's like, fuck yeah. Yes, 100%. If a person would say, let's get drunk on a Friday, and you would be like, well, I know how it feels when I wake up the Saturday morning. I feel like shit. I don't like being in a community of people that constantly are making fun of me, drowning, and it feels like it should be normal, but it's not. And so, if you aren't aligned, if you are operating from the place of lack, from the place of needing to prove something to others, needing to feel part of a group no matter what, you would literally trade your authenticity and your own values just for the fact that you would be with someone and that you wouldn't feel alone. That is misalignment. And this is exactly the time when you want to pay attention and you want to really be compassionate with yourself and very strong, because taking power back is not this. It's not like, by a blink of an eye, you would be completely okay with disappointing people, even though the people that it doesn't really make any big difference if they're disappointed or not, but you will be disappointing someone and there will be this comment brought up against you. You really don't like it. You really don't like being in conflict, so you rather go. And that's act of misalignment. And you can apply this into anything else. You can apply this even heck into career. You can apply this into living in the same city as your parents or as your group that you were, you know, growing up with. Misalignment in principle always comes from external world. It always comes from you being influenced by external world, by society, system, parents, teachers, doctors, whatever, whoever you deem as being in authority, as being in an expert position. This is where you want to pay attention, and you first want to listen to you, and then you want to listen to others. We know how misalignment looks like. How does the alignment looks like? It looks like you are doing what you're doing and you know that there is a greater meaning, and you know your why. Why are you doing this every day? Why are you going to the job, to the work you are going to? And saying it's for the money, that is not enough. That is not the true meaning. Activity or the job that is purposeful for you is never about money. And you know it once you really understand it. It is actually the opposite. You would do it for free. It is more difficult to stop doing the activity because it is just so fulfilling. And so, why would you stop doing something that's so fulfilling, right? Whereas if you are going to the job, because the most important reason there is the salary, even though you can be like pretty affluent thanks to your job, are you sure that this is purposeful? Think about something that you would do even though you would have to pay for it, for doing it. In my case, it's a music. I love studying sound. I love studying music production. I love singing, everything about music. And I'm actually now paying so that I can really do what I love. And this is the feeling of purpose. It's really difficult for me to stop and to go to sleep once I'm doing something with music. But once I would do something just because of money, let me out because I just want to have something that is really meaningful in our lives. And if you want to know why is it that money isn't really the main factor when it comes to purpose, it is because money isn't real, and it is really just based on our faith. It's actually from economics. It's fiat. I don't know if it's also in English. I'm gonna just look it up. But it is based on our faith, that we believe that this it has some kind of value. What kind of value has a piece of paper? And alignment also looks like trusting your intuition and your logic all together. It all makes sense once you make a decision and you are really grounded in your decisions. And as I said, you first listen to yourself and then you can communicate to others, but you decide already. And you say no quickly and you mean it. You don't really have the guilt, you don't feel any guilt, because you know that people's reactions, you are not responsible for them. Only thing you are responsible is you yourself and your choices and your future. And also the fact that you don't harm with anyone with your decisions, but I feel like that's, we don't really have to talk about it. And also you get to be excited again, like truly excited, and you don't want to dim your light around anyone, because the only thing that you would do with that is actually only positive. If you wouldn't dim your light and if you would really just express yourself as you want, you would either you would inspire those who strive to be like you, who strive to also feel the freedom, or you would trigger those who are jealous, who think negative thoughts, and maybe it will tell something for them, and maybe it will give them the nudge to maybe change, to maybe change their mindset, their approach to seeing things. Maybe not, but again, that's none of your business. And also, one thing to understand, being aligned is a privilege. And why privilege? It's not because it would make you superior to others. It is rather because not many people get the feeling and get to the point where they are really living aligned. I found one research where it's from the year 2023. State of the Global Workspace found that 23% of employees worldwide, of course it's not like completely worldwide, but feel engaged at work, like truly engaged. So what that means, 1/5 of the people that were put in the research, they said that they feel truly engaged and maybe they feel some kind of meaning. Well, what about the 4/5? What about the almost 80% of people? This means then that 77, to be correct, percent people are running on misalignment every single day. And in the US, the APA reports that over 60% of adults say their work is just a job, not meaningful. So understand, once you're in alignment, you're in a rare territory. Not many people, as you just heard now, will ever get there. So honor it. Honor only the fact that you want to get there. Because even, and this really makes me sad, but so many people don't even know that they are not in alignment, and therefore they don't want to get there. It's like, I'm gonna feel very childish for saying this, but I actually watched Madagascar yesterday, and it is very interesting. Honestly, I recommend you watch some kind of cartoon that you watched as a child, and you will see different things right now. Like, 20 years from now, I saw really different things. And if you know Madagascar, there is the moment where Marty wants to see what it is to live in a wild life, to live in a true wild territory. And you remember how his friends, Alex, Melman, and Gloria, they would be literally shocked that he wants to go outside the zoo, because there was everything, right? There was the stability, there was the food, there was the care of others, there was applause, a lot of applauses, and still he wanted to go and taste the wildlife. And do you see the connections between aligned life, which means wildlife? He would be really aligned, Marty, if he would live in a wildlife. And his friends were almost like talking him out of that. So you see how they really religiously, and it's also in real life, if you look at it also like from this perspective, if you look at it from to the real life, this is literally what is happening. People are talking you out of your own dreams because they are scared, and they would never ever do it, and they would never even think about it, that they want to pursue something else other than what they're doing right now. And so this is literally like, look at Madagascar, you'll now see it very clearly. And it's a beautiful cartoon, honestly. And so let's do the mini practice, the identity filter reset, that is in the PDF. And if you have opened the PDF, there is on the second page a question. And it is about, what are you tolerating? So write everything out. Put a 2-minute timer and write out. It's called automatic writing. Write everything. Even though you would feel weird to write by hand, because I mean, you can feel anything, and there is no bad feeling. Even really, if even if you would be sitting in a cafe and you would be feeling like awkward writing something, feel awkward and write it down. Write down, right now I really don't like, people, I think if people are watching me, even though you would really feel uncomfortable writing it out, you will literally write, I really feel uncomfortable writing this thing out. However, I know that I have to, because I want to live my future in a better means and in a better feelings than I live it now. And if I won't do it, I'm saying to myself that it is actually not that important at this moment. And this is okay, but also know that nothing will change. So, as you put on 2-minute timer, you write down everything. You don't sugarcoat it. Your brain will want to think that someone will read it after you. No one will read it. You can then tear it and put it away. You can burn it in the flames. You can do anything to it just to make sure that no one will read it. But make sure that you are really honest with yourself, because honesty is the most important criteria when it comes to like the fastest results of your alignment, of being authentic, of being your true self. So don't be stingy with your honesty. So once you found the reason, potential reason, it doesn't have to be like this reason is for 100% what it makes very difficult to be aligned and stuff like that. However, it is also, and that's sometimes even more important than the writing itself, it's a signal to your brain, to yourself, that you sat down and you put 2 minutes, you put some kind of time for you, and you don't give away your time like it would be for free. You are actually realizing the power of taking time for yourself, the power of silence, no music, no friends, series, no nothing, complete silence. And your brain sees it. Your brain, you yourself see yourself doing it. And this is also how you build confidence, because once you start to do things for yourself, your self-concept will strengthen, your self-esteem will strengthen, because you see that you are doing things for yourself, you see that you are worthy of being taken care of. So do it even though you don't know what to write. However, if you have something, then you see the second question. It says something like, what can I do right now? One small step, one small action, so that I would tell myself that I'm back in charge of my own reality, of my own decision making, and I'm back in the seat of a leader of my own life. And write that out. Another 2 minutes. If you don't know what that could be, in my case, when I was doing it, I unfollowed like 300 people from Instagram. I was actually, then I realized, oh my god, I'm putting myself through all this bullshit of content that is making me laugh, but how does it help me? So I unfollowed so many people, even people that I was going into my elementary school. I was still friends with them, and if I didn't feel that I want to be following them, I just unfollowed them, and I don't have to explain. I canceled a meeting. I canceled my friend's date because I simply didn't want to go there right now. And it is okay to listen to yourself. And even though my friends, I love them so much, but sometimes I really know how I feel. And I know that even though I I would be so happy if I would be with them. I know that at that moment when I canceled it, I needed to be alone and I needed to have the time for myself, and that's completely okay. And if your friends get you, they won't be mad. Remember this one. Or you can send a message. There might be a person that you weren't talking to for 1 year. I want to speak to him, so I'm going to just send a message. This is really the things that go from your intuition, from your guts, that you want to do it, so do it. If you see a woman, if you see a man and he has beautiful scent, he is looking stunning, tell them. It makes their day. You never know what you say to other person. They can think about it for weeks, for 2 weeks, for months even. I still remember when something good happened to me, when someone gave me a flower just like that. And I still remember the person and I still remember his name, and it really makes me happy. So this same thing, you can be the source of this beauty in the world that makes the life just so beautiful. And it goes beyond our ego and it goes just into pure joy. Remember that choices you make aren't from your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is actually working and it has very tiny working memory. It's rather like a filter. The real memory that is enormous, is enormous. It's such a big number of gigabytes. That is subconscious mind. And from the subconscious mind, the memory is stored. Everything is happening, every decision, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you think about problems, the way you find solutions for any problem, that is all programmed in your subconscious mind. And remember that your brain doesn't care whether you are joyful, whether your day is beautiful. Your brain cares about you being safe, about survival. Your brain needs to feel safe, comfortable. And what does comfort? To progress, it kills the progress. So that's why you most of the time won't feel comfortable and your brain will constantly want to put you back in the line. It would be as if you would be driving and it would be very, very hard to get into the other line. It would be very hard to change the direction, but it is possible, but it won't be easy. And that's also a test if you want it enough. That's why awareness is so important. As Carl Jung said, until you make unconscious conscious, the unconscious part will always direct your life and you will think that it's your fate. This in translation means that until you notice the small choices, the nurture the misalignment, and that you tolerate the misalignment, you will think that all these bad things and all the opportunities that you don't really like are just happening to you. But nothing is happening just out of nowhere. Everything has its reason. And the exercise that you're gonna do, that will break the loop, that will break the pattern. And you will find yourself in a completely new space with more opportunities. And why am I religiously recommending to write everything by hand, even though it takes more time? Because once you're writing by hand, you're actually activating a specific part of the brain. It is called the reticular activating system. And this is the part where it is like a filter of what you notice and of what you ignore. Because throughout your life, as we go, we always are ignoring a very big chunk of everything that's happening. And writing down, what have I been tolerating recently? Your brain will literally focus on finding everything that you're tolerating. And this is how you become aware of that. And this is how you realize and change the narrative and change the script, reprogram the subconscious mind. And if you've been doing these practices and you can feel the shift starting, that's already a part of alignment. And it is a reason to congratulate yourself. If you don't, that's also okay. Everything takes time, so just keep going. If you really know why are you doing it, if you really have the desire in you, the fire, never, never ever abandon yourself. It is always possible. You just need to keep going. Because if you stop for 100%, it's not gonna happen. And last few months, I've been so passionate about creating some community of people that are literally thinking like you, that are literally thinking like everyone that knows there is something more for them, that they can wake up to a job, to work, to a business that makes such a big meaning to them, that is fulfilling. And that's how the Spark community was created. It is not just about talking about alignment, we actually live it. We are going to be challenged by weekly tasks that are rooted in psychology. I love Carl Jung, so in his teachings about subconscious mind, about persona, and all the teachings that he has ever delivered about neuroscience, sources from neuroscience are so insightful, but it is also connected with my own experience because I lived literally the exact same thing that you might be living right now, driving somewhere, but knowing in your gut, not in your mind, not in your logical part, but in your feeling, in your gut, in your intuition, that this is not going to be enough, and you will eventually make that choice to change it. But you just need the power. You just need to grab all your courage. And you also need to continue. And you also need to show up every day. And what is better and more important thing that community that will never ever let you fall back? Because we all will know how it felt. So why would we be supporting you coming back? No way. And also, the saying of show me your friends and I'm gonna show you your future. That's exactly why I believe in the power of community. And that's why I'm offering this to you right now. I really want to make something amazing, something that people are so excited to come back to when they come back from their work, when they come back from their vacation. Take the time for themselves and know that there will be always support and there will be always something new to look for. And this is exactly what I want to build. And for that, I need you. And this will be eventually valued at $197 per month. But right now, I'm honestly at the beginning. And I really don't need your money if I don't know what others think about it. But I also need you to be accountable. And therefore, I'm opening this for the first 20 people for the price of a one-time payment of $99 with a lifetime access and with Aligned or It's On Me type of guarantee, which is 60 days. You can browse through this community, you can engage, you can have access to everything. And even though you put in the effort, even though you really sit in silence, do the exercises, do the work on yourself, and if you still don't feel like yourself, but better, truer, more aligned, if you don't feel more aligned after 60 days, just send me a message and I'm gonna give you the full refund, because I don't need your money if it doesn't work. And also, I believe in this so much because I know how I feel. Plus, even though I'm gonna give you the money back, you will still have the access and you will have a lifetime access and you still can engage and you are still part of the community. And so everything, the whole program with 6 modules, with the bonuses, with the 80+ page workbook, with weekly calls, everything is still there for you. All I want you to do is really give me an honest feedback. And together, with your help, I will be able to build a community that is awesome, full of people that get you. So if you're interested in this, go ahead and check out the description of the video. There's going to be the link about this. And yeah, I hope that you took something valuable out of this video. Don't forget to also grab your copy of the Identity Reset Journal, where you have the exercise and you also have the book recommendation and many more prompts to get you into the aligned version of yourself. I love you all so much. If you like this video, don't hesitate and give a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, don't hesitate and put the thumbs down. And if you like, stick around and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.